Hey guys, welcome back to Empire Sand. My name's Steve, and today we're working on a XR4155, an LS Mtron tractor, and we have a F00827 code, which is an EGR code. And what it is when you're driving your tractor, it pops up. It's either you got to clean your EGR valve, which I didn't help. You could have some piping around it that's clogged. I did not have that. And when you're driving your tractor, it'll go in this, it'll go into limp mode, and it'll kill your power. You can't, even in mid-range on a hydrostat, it's hard to climb a hill with it. So what you'll need today to do this job is you will need, I use a cheap light so you can see what you're doing, a couple 1/4-inch extensions, a 12mm socket, a 10mm socket. I'm using a 1/4-inch ratchet, a Phillips head screwdriver, which is something for a little different. I'll show you at the end of the video. Stick around. And a flathead screwdriver. It's that simple. That's all you'll need. It's real easy to get to, and you will need a new EGR valve. Here's my old one right here. I've already switched it out. But that's all you'll need to fix your tractor. And stick around to the end, and I'll show you a little trick that you may not know. Alright guys, first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and pop your hood. And then there's two bolts we need to remove. If you look up under here, there's this one located here, and then on the other side, it's right around there in the same spot. Right there. So let's remove those bolts, and then we'll continue on. After you remove those two bolts, go ahead and close your hood. Then you'll just grab this metal piece, lift it up and out of the way. Now you have good access to your EGR valve. This is your EGR valve right here. What you'll also need your brand new EGR valve, about a $600 part from LS. I found this for $555. Then after shipping, it is about $570. You can also clean these. You may be having that problem. I have had mine out and I have cleaned it, and that's not the problem. The problem is something with the electronics in the top of this compared to the solenoid itself. Now, to remove the connector on top of your EGR valve, I think it's easy to just take a flathead screwdriver, put it right behind this, and you slide that out. You don't have to slide it out all the way, just enough where you can push the tab down, slide the connector off. Now underneath that, there is I believe it's a fuel rail sensor. You just have to reach down, and there's no tab to slide on it, but you can squeeze it with your fingers. It's kind of hard back here. It's right back here. Squeeze it from the bottom, and it pulls right off. Real easy. From there, we just want to remove the bolts that hold it on, and you'll need extensions and a 1/4-inch ratchet to reach down in there. There's one here, there's one in the back, and there's one around the front side under here. It's real easy. 1, 2, and there's a third one. Let's see if we can get down in there. There's a third one right around in here, right there to remove. If you want to open your hood, you can, but you really don't have to have your hood open for this. It will drop straight down. There's a harness that got to push back out of the way just a little bit. So drop down right on top of the one on the side here. Get it started. Take the ratchet off so you don't lose it or drop it. Put your finger down there as you pull it up and out so it stays inside the socket. Twist it out, pull it out. Then the one in the back is pretty easy too. You just drop all the way down, but you just need a couple extensions to get back here to it. And there's the third one. So some of you might have a little issue getting this out. Sometimes they're a little stuck because they get a carbon buildup on the bottom. But you have a little bit of play in your harness. You want to push it to the side. Mine will come out pretty easy. But as you raise it up, because of how the bottom of it, the pattern of the bottom, the casting, you need to twist it in. There it goes. Twist it in towards that. And you should be able to work it up and out without removing anything else. So mine, I have already cleaned it, and with it running, I've removed this tube here where you can stick your finger in and you can feel it. It just pulsates and it's not opening or closing all the way. That's another thing you need to clean to check too. You can clean the EGR valve. Sometimes this tube here, which is just a couple bolts, no big deal, it can become clogged. And there's a crossover tube right here that goes down across the other side. More than likely that's not going to be clogged. You will have a gasket that sits under here. Will need to be just kept in place. So it's this easy. We'll just take our new one. We'll turn it so the connector's facing that way. You can see it drop in. This is the get down, we'll twist it, and it's that easy. You want to put these bolts in before you put your connector on that fuel rail down there because it blocks the head of the bolt. So I like to go ahead and get them started by hand. If you can get it started by hand, I'm going to put you guys back on the mount here. Because the ones on the side and the back, it's a little harder to start by hand. Tighten this one on the front side. We have one more in the back, which you'll need to fill with your hands as you go to make sure you got in the right spot as you go down. And it's really, there's nothing much in the way. It's pretty easy to get this in here and get it out. All right, so we'll reach around the back. We'll plug our sensor back in down here. It's hard to see, but there it is. We'll plug it back in that fuel rail. You can't see it's a little tougher than. Give her a tug, make sure she's seated. Feel it click. Plug it back in the top. And that's it. Your new EGR valve is in. Now we're going to go around here. We're going to start it, and we're going to see if it still has the code. And I may have to reset it, and I'll show you guys how I reset the codes here in a second. Usually it takes about 30 seconds for it to come up, if it's going to come up. So it looks like it's reading the new sensor just fine on there, on top of that EGR. And you always want to make sure you push this gray plastic clip all the way back in after it's seated. But you just lay your cowling back over here, and you put the 2 bolts back in, and that's it. Now I'll show you one more thing that you may not see. You may have seen online, you may not, but I'll show you one more thing about these tractors a lot of people don't know. Here's what you're going to do. You have these little fasteners here. You want to do this one. Set to the side. There's one here. Set that panel aside. You got 2 screws down here. I don't know if the newer tractors are the exact same. This is a 2019 model. I would imagine they'd be about the same, but this is a 2019, so they may be a little different. I know the series of tractor is different. Now we'll go around the other side. We'll do the same thing. Take these off. Down, we'll tilt it up to clear over that little arm there, and you can leave that connected. And we'll have one more screw. Mine is just a little bit different. I'll tell you why in a second. You have one more screw you take out right there, and once you do, this piece will just drop down. So on these tractors, this is actually mounted facing the other direction. This is an OBD2 port. So what you do, I turn mine around so I can still get to it without taking all this stuff off. Usually it would be facing this direction, and all this cowling or fairing would be blocking it. I bought a cheap Elm 327 Bluetooth reader, and you can find these on Amazon. They're all dirt cheap. You plug her in there, or you can plug a regular scanner in there. A lot of scanners will read sensors off of this. And then download the torque app on your phone. Open it up, sync it to your OBD2 reader, and it will tell you temperature values, boost values, intake temperature. It'll tell you a lot of different things, oil pressure, RPMs, and it will also allow you to clear the codes. So that comes in really handy. So if this tractor required me to go in and clear the codes that way, even with a new sensor, I would have been able to do it instead of hauling the tractor to an LS dealer or a New Holland. So if you don't know New Holland, these are actually Boomer series. LS makes them for Boomer. LS makes the small Farmall, Case Farmall series. LS makes those tractors. And if you don't believe me, next time you go to New Holland or next time you go to Case and you look at their smaller tractors, look at the sticker in the back or the plate. It'll say LS Mtron on there. But I hope this helps some people out. I'm going to leave this OBD2 reader, this Bluetooth dongle is what they call them. I'm going to leave it in and just put my fairings and my cowlings and stuff back on. But I hope this helps somebody out. All right, here you guys go. So you've bought your Bluetooth OBD2 reader, your dongle is what they call them. Go to the App Store. We're going to put in Torque. That's what it looks like right there. Whoop. We're going to open that up. Actually, I've already got installed, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to open the Torque app up. You're going to connect to your OBD2 reader. Mine's connected to the vehicle up here. It shows the Bluetooth reader in the vehicle. You can go through and you can check and see if there's any stored codes in this thing. Reading fault codes. And this is a part that will allow you to erase those codes if you have any stored in there. Sometimes this can take like 30 seconds. If there's any codes, it'll come up really quick. This is trying to go through the entire computer. I don't have any codes, so I just cleared them. So I'm going to go back. Okay. And you'll have some screens. You'll go back to the main. Real-time information. And you'll have these on there. Just go to the side, find a new open spot, hold your finger on it for a second, add new display, any kind of display on here you want, just click anything you want, okay? Now that this is up, a lot of these are generic. If it's in green, it's a value that's reading on your tractor currently. The acceleration sensors, those are in your phone. The pedal position should be reading on this once the tractor started. So those are two sensors you can read. The air temperature from the tractor is, you can read that. The barometer, the barometric pressure. Your catalyst temperatures, mine are up because I had the tractor running. And as you slowly go through here, you got to give them a second. They'll pop up. EGR command, it'll tell you what's commanding the errors. It's 99.2 right now, but after I start it, it'll go down. EGR command will come up. Your engine coolant temperature, so you can tell if you have a bad temperature sensor. It'll actually give you an RPM readout, and you can just keep scrolling down. And a lot of the stuff's generic, but fuel rail pressure, it'll give you that in case your fuel rail, in case you have something wrong with your pressure on your pump. It'll tell you if you do or not. Intake air temperature, manifold pressure. It'll tell you in PSI how many pounds of boost it's building. Your O2 sensor, if it has one. As you're scrolling, if it's in green, it'll give you a data or a readout for it. So I hope that helps some people out. This is the Torque app, OBD2 dongle for your tractor. I showed you where to plug it in. Get this, it'll help you troubleshoot too. Alright guys, if you stuck around to the end, I got something pretty decent for you here. This is the EGR valve we just replaced. And if you're anything like me, you are cheap as can be. I'm cheap. I like to take shit apart. So I figure, hey, you know what? I already bought this $600 part. I got this old one. Let's take her apart. Alright, so here's what you need to do. 1, 2, 3. Take them screws out. Mine are just sitting in there because I just got it holding it together. I've already had it apart, but same thing if you do it yourself. Now, you got two more down here. They don't have to come out to start out with, but if you want to, which I would, it'll help you out later, go ahead and remove those. What they do is they hold the motor in line when this thing goes back together. Now you saw mine separate, but to tell you, it's not going to be that easy, because this flange right here, as you can see, it's got silicone. It's full of silicone. So it's going to be hard to pull these apart, but it can be done. You can pull that apart, and what you're left with is you're left with a housing with a motor with the actual valve itself, gear drive, and it's pulled right out. No wires to attach or detach. It just slides on these clips. What my problem was with mine is this motor was stuck. You can only turn it about maybe 1/8 of a turn, and you could feel it catching. So after spinning a little bit and working it, now she spins free. And I am almost 100% betting that if I put a little bit of lubrication in this thing, some oil, now that it spins free, isn't binding anywhere, throw some oil in this thing, I could put this thing back together and probably work just like brand new. And it doesn't matter what position you put this $3 Chinese motor in, which I haven't even looked it up. You could probably cross-reference those numbers and buy this for maybe $5 or $10 instead of the $600 for this whole part. So it doesn't matter where you put this in. It goes in, drops in. You're going to have those two screws. You're going to line it up so it's straight across. Put your two screws in and hold it. This goes down on top. When this motor is working, when it's spinning the valve, it's going in or out. So it's opening. The valve's coming down or going up. It's opening. And in turn, this plunger here is pushing on this potentiometer switch inside. And that's telling the computer what position, where it's at in travel. So I bet mine was trying to run through a check where it would go all the way up or all the way down, open up the valve, and the motor was sticking, and therefore it was throwing the code and putting it in the limp mode. So before you spend $600, because if you're going to buy one, you're going to replace it. Doesn't matter what happens to this. You're going to replace it. Might as well take it apart before you buy one and see if you had the same issue I did, where the motor was catching and it had a bad spot in it, or there's just either some trash or some garbage or some rust buildup. Save yourself some money. Try this first. I'm almost positive. I don't want to take this back apart. I'm going to put this completely back together. I'm going to oil it and put it on the shelf for when this happens again. But in my head, I'm like 99.9% positive this was the whole issue, was this motor right here. Everything else is fine. I'm betting the electronics in this thing are completely fine. It just wasn't seeing the value it wanted on the potentiometer because this wasn't going up and down. All right, guys, do this. Try to save some money. Let me know if this works out for you. If you end up taking yours apart before you spend the $600 with the economy of the day, that's not cheap. Give her a shot. Let me know. And I hate to be this guy, but like, subscribe if you would. Doesn't cost a thing. I don't make anything off these videos. I don't have enough views and stuff yet, but hopefully I'm trying to build this channel to get there. And this summer, actually here shortly, maybe next couple days, we'll be tilling up the garden and getting stuff ready for planting. I've already ordered the seeds. If you go through my channel, I do an honor box system out by the road every year. I sell watermelons. I'm going to start posting some videos of the people coming up, and I'll have it signs out and stuff so people know they'll be on video. But I'm going to post some videos of people coming up to buy watermelons, and I'll also post videos of people coming up stealing watermelons, because we have plenty of those each year. And sometimes those are funny. One year I had a lady steal 22 watermelons off me. But all right, try it before you buy it. Till next time, guys.